today because Liverpool come at you, you know, and you can sit back, and they are top of the league, and you can get away with that. But I believe they've got a lot to do. But Man United fans, they won't want to hear it. You've got a bunch of players which are set up to counter-attack.
But wasn't that always the case? Didn't they used to hit you with pace from both sides?
They didn't sit back under fair game play that way. They were at Old Trafford, they came at you for 90 minutes, bang, they were there like a train. They were at you, Richard. But they were a brilliant counter-attacking side when they were defending their own corners or anything like that. And the goalkeeper won it, or they broke an attack up. They would hit you with pace, yes, 100% they would do that, yes. But what they did today is different. It's nothing like what Fergie's teams would never have said.
Well, what they did today, is that any different to that which Mourinho was serving up? I just mentioned his name. David Moyes has served up and was criticised for doing so?
Probably not.
No, and ultimately that cost them their job. I think but the boils down to Mourinho won. Manchester United. What cost him his job is the manner in which they played. The fans wasn't happy with that, but it's not too dissimilar to what we saw there today.
Well, let's be honest, he worked himself out, didn't he? What cost him his job was leaving Pogba out 3 times in a row, and he knew the third occasion that he did that, he was out. But he wanted to get out. That was a big difference, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think with what they've got there is a man who's singing off the same hymn sheet as the club on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, and give him credit today. That is a positive result for them. No one fancied them going into the game. Liverpool were off colour, but I thought today Liverpool find a way to get it done. They look like champions to me. I think there's a massive contrast between them and Man City. We talked about it yesterday. Man City control football matches and they counter-attack better than anyone.
Look at this. This was when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain had just drifted in an aimless cross from around the inside left position, Andy. You could see what he wanted.
Oh, he knows what he
Moments later, he got it.
I mean, by this time, United were basically camped for the last 20-25 minutes, round about the edge of their own box. They'll be really disappointed at a poor cross, and I mean that from Andrew Robertson, one of his poorest, because it probably shouldn't get past Harry Maguire, but with Firmino in his vicinity, he doesn't clear it. And that was the key moment when he doesn't deal with it, Harry Maguire, at the near post there. It travels wrong side of Lindelof, who can do nothing about it. And it's a simple tap-in in the end. But
they went into hanging on mode.
Yeah, they did,
didn't they, Manchester United? We talked about the 3 at the back and it turned into a 5. Wan-Bissaka, Ashley Young never moved out of the penalty box for the last 15 minutes.
The original plan being what?
The original plan was to have 3 there and then push high, so stop Robinson and Alexander-Arnold coming forward. In the last 15 minutes, we saw Liverpool a bit more like we see every single week, or large parts of this season, where Alexander-Arnold's marauding forward and Robertson marauding forward on the left and right-hand side. And then they played a game in the opposition last third. And I think that's what we saw in the last 15 minutes, because Manchester United were protecting a lead, which they couldn't believe they had.
I mean, you'd be hard pushed to say Liverpool did deserve something from the game.
They did.
You know, they were the dominant side, territorially. Probably had more chances, although it was a bit disappointing. The attempts on goal were really disappointing for a level of the teams that we were watching. But you would be hard pushed, and you'd need to be a big Manchester United fan to think that you really did deserve to win the game.
Tim just said, I see a title-winning team. You've still got reservations about it, haven't you? You still think there's a lot of football in this yet?
I know what Tim's saying, and we both played in title-winning sides, so we kind of have half an idea, don't we? And what I was thinking, the last 3, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Leicester, I said to you before the game, there were 3 games where they're just signs. They hung on against Chelsea. Chelsea probably should have got something. The goalkeeper throws one in against Sheffield United. What am I in? Manny gets a penalty that was debatable to beat Leicester. So there were signs for me, Richard, that maybe they're not quite at their best. And I think we saw that again today. But what Championship winning sides do is they win those games.
They don't lie down.
They win those games, and they've done that. So I just think I think there's hope for people.
Well, we need a race, don't we?
I think for 17 games we thought Liverpool were going to blow everybody away. But I just think now, when you see the closeness of the games they've had last 4, and even in the European tie when they just got over the line in that, you know, those are little signs that give. If I'm chasing Liverpool, I've got hope now, because I think there might be a little chance. But I know what Tim's saying. Guy getting over the line, it's a great trait to have.
The big difference between the 2 sides. Man City have got guile. They've got game controllers, De Bruyne, Silva, Bernardo, you know, Raheem Sterling's outstanding. Liverpool will know one way to play. and it's working, it's effective, and they keep going. They've got men in their team. They've got defenders like Matic and Van Dijk who are happy to defend 1v1, happy to be there 1v1 with anyone who's left up the field. They've got their marauding fullbacks, but they play 100 mile an hour all the time. Man City don't. They rest on the football. They, in tight situations like that today, when Man United sat back, Man City would have opened them up time and time again, because they've got players who can play in tight areas and they find a pass. Cute players. They've got better players overall. They've got a better blend of players. They can play counter-attacking, as we said yesterday, Man City, and they can also mesmerise you with the passes and find guile at the right time. And I think that's the difference between them and Liverpool. Liverpool can 100% win the league playing like this.
100%.
But Man City have got they've got a different page. They can turn it over when they need to.
You know what might be good for them? Just what's interesting, I think you're always looking. My one criticism of Liverpool for this, I think they've got a terrific back four, goalkeeper. I think that's terrific, right? As you say, they're happy to defend 1v1 anytime they like. Two big commanded centre backs, right? Good goalkeeper. Three front men who you would have in your team any time of the day when they're playing. They're brilliant. They can just destroy you like that. My thing is controlling a football match. We've talked about it today. The three midfield players, for me, they're a bit samey.
Yeah.
You know, there's no great craft in there. There's no great creation in there. So I think today, when we saw Oxlade-Chamberlain come on, he gave them something different today from that midfield area that they don't have. And he could be a massive key, I think. Now he's fit, and he looks fit now, and he looks ready. I think he might now get a run in that side, in that area of the football pitch where they need a little bit more craft. A goal. They don't get enough goals from that area of the pitch. He'll provide goals. He was close 2 or 3 times when he came on today. So he might, Oxlade-Chamberlain, play a massive part this season.
Yeah. Interesting. OK, reaction to come, obviously. Just as soon as we have it, we will share it with you. But one apiece at Old Trafford today. Manchester United led for a long time. Liverpool equalised late on. First time, incidentally, since 2001 that 2 English goal scorers have recorded a goal in this fixture.
Now that Liverpool haven't been at their best. They've come away with points, victories, and then the point today in all of them. It can't go on too long, though, can it? No, but Lee and Graham talked before the game, both won titles, and said if you don't play well, don't lose. Liverpool haven't lost today. I'm sure when Manchester United side of things come out, they can talk positively about the game, because for 85 minutes they were winning, could have gone on and certainly upset Liverpool and have stopped that unbeaten run. But in the quest of what both these clubs were after, it's a huge point for Liverpool. Could have lost. Last season, they lost the Premier League title by 1 point. That could be the difference for them of what they achieved today. It's amazing. 5 minutes from time, they get that goal, because the conversation we would have been having, the two players would have been answering such different questions. Entire perceptions would have changed had they not got that goal from Lallana. For sure. And especially in a second half where Manchester United were clearly trying to see out a result. I think they only had 23% of the ball in the second half, and there was always a threat that Manchester United could catch them on the counter again, like they did in the first. Substitutions helped. And I talked about the other guys not being trusted all that much. Shaqiri's hurt. Lallana comes on, gets the goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain was bright and brought some pace and some ingenuity to the midfield. Just, it's a tough day because Mo Salah obviously makes them better, and you have to measure them up against Manchester City. Manchester City have had some disappointing results this year, but you know, 4 shots on goals, not really generating anything, is a concern, because you know they're going to have to lose games because teams are a lot better than them today. And today, I do give a lot of the credit to Manchester United. This wasn't a terrible Liverpool performance. Manchester United came up with a massive performance when their manager's under the watch. When Jurgen Klopp walked on the pitch at the end, Rebecca, over recent weeks we've seen him fist pumping and getting the crowd going. He blew out his cheeks today, as if to say, we'll take a point. And there's a 6-pointer come November 10th. I mean, now it's a 6-point gap. So it's like that game now is all that much more important. It was the game last year in January that turned the tide. So this is a good point. They got to keep positive with it. Just very quickly, is coming back to get a point? People say if they come back and win, it's a sign of champions. Is coming back to get a point still a little sign that they have that champion Champions quality.
When the VAR go to look at the replay, unless it's without any shadow of a doubt whatsoever that everybody in the world basically thinks it's a foul, then they won't overrule the on-field decision, and that is the key. Don't forget, for the handball for Sadio Mane as well, it doesn't have to be deliberate anymore. It's just about whether the ball touches the hand in the process of scoring a goal, which I think it did. So that perhaps is a little bit more explanation behind it. But Owen, in terms of a tactical battle, you have to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got the better of Liverpool so far.
Yeah, he's sprung a little surprise playing the back three with wing backs, and it's probably worked. You know, I think he's playing Daniel James and Rashford quite high up the pitch, and Pereira's playing almost in a number 10 position, which suits him. I thought he was United's best player in the first half. And Liverpool, the tempo was probably a bit slower than we're used to from them, but so far that first half, Ole Gunnar, his tactics are winning.
The fullbacks is a fascinating battle between Wan-Bissaka on one side and Young playing really high and putting a lot of pressure, as you mentioned, on Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, because they are such a potent weapon for Liverpool, and they just haven't had the opportunity to get forward at all.
No, they haven't to the same effect. But I just think the tempo hasn't really been what Liverpool normally play. Normally it's higher and it's quicker. But I think that's probably down to the way Ole Gunnar set the team up and just his tactics. I think he's set it up differently than maybe Klopp anticipated, and in that sense maybe it just was a bit of a surprise for Liverpool. But I expect changes maybe from Liverpool's side, just in terms of the way they set up. They can't really, I thought Firmino was really good in the first half, but Mane was relatively quiet. Origi had some good moments. But the midfield battle felt like United won, you know, and I think if Liverpool want to affect the game, they'll have to make some changes.
Do you think it's more about the intensity? Then maybe not personnel, but just the way they're going to approach the second half.
Look, I think for United, the great thing, you know, everybody knows Liverpool are favourites, but the intensity, United came out, they were pressing, they worked really hard. The back three is working, the wing backs as well. So the intensity from United is why they're winning this game.
Just keep an eye on Joel Matip as